And you know who I feel worst for? Is all those people with huge CD collections. Because you realize overnight they went from music aficionado to creepy hoarder. You want to see my CDs?
All right. Yeah, I know. Talk to you later. Right now, I'm talking to all y'all. How you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome back to this program. I know you've been on pins and needles. Where does the time go? But welcome back. This is what's on my shelf, where I'm just going through a tour of the collection. If only for myself, but I know there are other audiophiles out there, other collectors, other CD apologists. Apologize no more. This is my chosen medium. I love CDs. I'm buying them all the time. And before I even get to the shelf we're going to talk about, which is F, I want to share a few new things with the collection from A through E. So dig. I said this in B, that I needed it. Now I have it. First, Bad Brains. Oh yeah. Bam. Count Basie. Got a CD called Basie Boogie. Totally awesome. Another Count Basie. This is Basie's Beatle Bag. It's all Beatles covers. Good fun stuff. Absolutely. All hail the Count. Then we move on later in B, and I picked up some Art Blakey, because have you ever come across an Art Blakey you didn't love? I have yet to do it. So this is Art Blakey with lots of exclamation points. And this is Caravan, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. Totally awesome. Very happy they found a home here with me. I said this in B, I needed the copy of this, because when I was a kid I had it, but it was a cardboard case, and I cut it up to shove it in a jewel case because I wanted it to fit on my CD rack. But I finally replaced it all these years later. Who knows what happened to that copy, but the Breeders Pod, their first full length, with Steve Albini, big inspiration to Nirvana, and why they wanted to do In Utero with Steve at Electrical Audio. Still staying in B, because I needed to pad this section. I said it in the last episode talking about B, that I needed more Busta Rhymes in my collection. Well, I put 3 more in my collection. Boom. Extinction Level Event. Amazing. Amazing album. Maybe even as good, if not better, is a record called Genesis. Wow. The creativity of Busta Rhymes blowing my mind. And then we have one called The Big Bang. This is good. Busta is very, very good. Extinction Level Event, I absolutely have to recommend to everybody out there. Moving into C's, I finally picked up a copy of Trout Mask Replica. Very interesting. It has 28 songs on it, so it's quite a listen. I don't know if I like it as much as the other Captain Beefheart records, but then again, it hasn't been in the collection for very long, and Captain Beefheart takes a lot of I don't want to say effort. Takes a lot of at-bats. You just gotta keep sitting in front of it before you really love it. But this record that I'm about to show off, I didn't know what I was in for in the first 10 seconds. and then absolutely loved it. I played it on repeat. This is Shaka Khan, The Woman I Am, a record from the 90s. I never, ever would have thought to pick this up. But at $4, what did I have to lose monetarily? But also, it's Shaka Khan. I think I've learned at this point not to ever doubt the quality of her music. It is sublime. Fantastic. The Woman I Am. Still staying in C, I picked up some CCR, Pendulum, to add to the collection. Super awesome. If you're not listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival regularly, get the individual albums. That is a completely different experience than the greatest hits collection that everybody has. Anyway, moving on to D. Woo, picked up this Miles Davis bad boy. Big fun. It's funny when you discover a whole area of an artist's music you didn't know. And this little section, like I always, Bitches Brew is okay. I'm okay on Bitches Brew. But On the Corner is amazing. Jack Johnson is totally cool. Big Fun is a continuation of all that. Heavy stuff. Very cool. Finally added some Diodato to my collection. This is Diodato 2. And we have Knights of Fantasy. Again, picked these up at Record Exchange. What did I have to lose? Nice price. And Diodato, I've used him in the theme music for this show, so I may as well check out his music. And this is great fun stuff. A couple more new additions. I got the first, well, it's not the first. The second Donna's record, Teenage Rock and Roll Machine. I've been really listening to the Donnas a lot lately. A lot of it has to do with how great I think Alison Robertson is, the guitar player. But I'm really starting to appreciate the drumming. But I'm also just appreciating that these girls were just really dedicated to what they were doing. I mean, some of the songs I like more than others. Let me put it that way. But this is really good. Way better than what I sounded like in high school. Holy moly. Teenage Rock and Roll Machine. Good stuff. Some Earth, Wind, and Fire that I picked up since the last episode. Spirit. Excellent. And this is a record kind of like, don't judge a record by its cover, because some people might look at that and think it looks neat. I think it looks really half-baked and cheesy. But the music on this ain't. Oh, far from it. It's just another outstanding record from Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of the greatest bands ever. Picked up some more Duke Ellington from my collection. Uptown is the name of this CD. And it's kind of confusing as to how much of this was originally released at the same time on a package, how much wasn't. It really doesn't matter because this is awesome. And we have Duke Ellington live at Newport. This is really great. I think it lacks some of the thunder and the fire that I like most from Ellington, but wonderful addition to the collection. And that is what I have added to the collection. So let's move on to letter F. I had to readjust the camera because we're getting lower in the collection here. F. F starts here and goes to here. It's a small section, small but mighty, and it has one of my all-time favorite bands in it, so let's start talking about it right now. F begins. Faces. A nod is as good as a wink to a blind horse. I dig me some Faces. It's just really well done. Pop rock and roll. It grooves hard. They're dedicated to the tunes. And Rod Stewart, when he was young, was the man. Holy moly. Don't believe me? Well, check out Ooh La La by the Faces. And this was the record when he was kind of checked out. And you'll notice, as good as the songs are without him, Ronnie Wood sounds great. The other dude sounds great. But the songs that Rod sings are awesome. I need more Faces in my collection, but there we go, Faces. Then we move on to a band that whenever I come across them, I just get it. Because apparently there's like 30 some albums. It's kind of the same thing over and over, but I love that same thing over and over. So, got a whole bunch of records by The Fall. We start with the Step Forward Years. It's the New Thing by Marky Smith. The band that John Peel calls his favorite band. It's either the greatest thing you've ever heard or it's the worst thing you've ever heard. I think it's great. Hip Priest and Comrades. The Wonderful and Frightening World of The Fall. The Friends Experiment. Middle Class Revolt. More Fall. The Light User Syndrome. The Unutterable by The Fall. We have one called Ersatz. Whatever that means, Ersatz. It rocks. That's what it means to me. Love it. And then moving on from The Fall, we have Faith No More with Angel Dust. This is a good record. Gets to stay. Following that, we have a Vicente Fernandez, El Rey. And this is a bootleg that was purchased and given to me by a girlfriend at the time. And I love this. What an amazing voice. Woo, puras mentiras. One of my favorites. Another album in Espanol, we have Ibrahim Ferrer. And as you can see, I got this from the college radio station I DJ'd for, doing the Beat Street Bodega, the best in hip-hop, jazz, and the future in between. This is great stuff from Cuba. And then we have a local DC area group called Fertile Ground. Really good stuff. I said, change your one mind. I hear you, baby. More Fertile Ground, Black is the name of this album. Really good. And moving on from Fertile Ground, we have some Fishbone. We have the self-titled, The Reality of My Surroundings, Everyday Sunshine, Truth and Soul, and finally, this has a crazy title. What is this? Professor something in the Nutworks. This is called, wasn't even close. The Psychotic Friends Nutworks. I really like Fishbone. I don't want to say Fishbone is, I love Fishbone, but I really like these records. I've owned other Fishbone records that have gotten the axe because I was just like, I'm just not into this. But these records, they stand the test of my ears, and I keep coming back. Following Fishbone, we got to get into one of the greatest of all time. One of my all-time favorite records. I ain't never, no, never loved a man the way that I love you. Ooh, I fell in love over this record many years ago. Wonderful. Aretha Arrives. Amazing. And we move on to Lady Soul. Chain, 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 chain. A record called Aretha Sings the Blues. Followed by Soul 69. Keep on moving. Then we have Live at the Fillmore West. Amazing. Young, Gifted, and Black. I mean, come on now. Come on now. What an amazing album. followed by Hey Now Hey, Hey Now Hey Now Hey,
Hey now, hey.
The Other Side of the Sky. A good record. Followed by an even better record called Sparkle. Soundtrack to a movie I have not seen yet, but I'm dying to. Curtis Mayfield produced this record. It's awesome. And then our final Aretha Franklin in the collection is a collection called Aretha's Jazz. Right on. Right on. Following Miss Aretha Franklin is Miss Sidney Franklin. I'm gonna make it. Amazing young talent. This is her first EP. I knew her when she was a teenager, and it was like, yeah, you should pursue singing. You're really good. You're really good. Love it. Love it. Following Miss Sidney Franklin, we have Ace Frehley. Frehley's Comet. Because, you know, rock soldier. We have Anomaly, which this is just the protective cover. The actual packaging folds into a pyramid. And as you can hear, the booklet's inside. And when I put it into a pyramid, I was like, I'm never taking this off. I'm never taking this out of the pyramid form. It's too cool. So it sits up top with the box sets. Oh yeah, let's get it. Get that arranged. All right. Very good. Following that, Space Invader, awesome album. And Ace's two most recent records, Origins Volume 1 and Origins Volume 2. Man, I hope I'm putting out records that sound this good, have this much energy, and this much care to detail when I'm this man's age. Just be, you know, of course he has a market that I don't, but the market's not that big. Come on. People aren't buying brand new albums. I mean, I bought these brand new. But still. Totally great stuff. Then we go into, I've had this since, of course, when it first came out, brand new. From Dusk Till Dawn. Saw this in the theaters with my friends, and we knew at that point, if Quentin Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez put out a soundtrack, you buy it, because it's going to be awesome. Following From Dusk Till Dawn, we get Curtis Fuller. Little trombone, little jazz trombone. I first heard Curtis Fuller on John Coltrane's Blue Train, the locomotive solo. I always think is one of the coolest things I've ever heard. So I picked up some Curtis Fuller when I've seen it in the wild, and it's good stuff. But following Curtis is our final band in F, and save the best for last. One of my all-time favorite bands. Of my top 5 favorite musical things, entities, artists. We've already gone over one, which is James Brown is in my top 5. James Brown. James Brown. Another of that top 5 we're getting to right now, which is Funkadelic. Oh, baby. If you lick my soul, I will touch your funky emotions.
Your funky emotions.
So amazing. So amazing. I bet you're gonna lose my love. Well, I bet you. Funky dollar bill. US dollar bill. Free your mind. And your ass will follow. Follows the self-titled. Because the kingdom of heaven is within. Free your mind and your ass will follow. The kingdom of heaven is within. Here is a little bit of a live experience. The Meadowbrook in Rochester, New York, 1971. It sounds huge. It's awesome. There are some mistakes on it for sure, but that's just in the transitions because I think they didn't discuss a set list. I think they just... Somebody would just go into the next song. And everyone would just kind of Okay, that's the song we're doing. Amazing. Really, really cool. What a unique band. I tasted the maggots of the universe and I was not offended. No, no, no. I want you to hit it. Come on, hit it and quit it. Maggot Brain. Classic. Absolutely classic. Then we get some America Eats Its Young. I actually have 2 copies of this because one of them has bonus tracks, one of them doesn't, and one of them, this one, the original, it scratches on Lucifer's Love. So if I'm listening to this one, I gotta switch over, and if I don't want to hear the bonus tracks, I gotta remember to turn it off. I'll replace them one day. But right now, I got them both because we're just a biological speculation. Sitting here, vibrating, we don't know what we're vibrating about. Every animalistic in me makes me wanna defend me. It makes me wanna live when it's time to die. Following that, we got a little cosmic slop. Standing here with a broken heart, wishing you had not gone. So good.
You said my son is not your thing.
It's tears falling from your eyes. Hey lady, won't you be my dog so I can be your treat and you can pee on me? Standing on the verge of getting it on, baby. Red-eyed mama from Louisiana, on her way to Savannah. She been cooped up too long. Amazing. Standing on the verge of getting it on. Amazing album. And more funkadelic amazingness. Let's take it to the stage, sucker. 'Cause I'm going to give you what you're here for. I've got the means to take you there. Drowning out the voices that bug you. Promise to be good to your ear, ho-whoa. Tales of Kid Funkadelic. Super awesome. Everything is fair when you're living in a city. Everything is fair when you're on a cop. Everything is fair on stage. Let me take it to the people. Let me take it to the people. Take it to the stage. Even though this record's called Tales from Kid Funkadelic. Amazing. Love it. Hardcore Jollies. 'Cause she's coming around the mountain when she comes. Riding 2 white horses as she comes. Amazing. Hardcore Jollies, baby. Then we get to One Nation Under a Groove. So getting down just for the funk of it.
Can I get it on my good foot? Good God.
Excellent stuff. Following that, we get a little Uncle Jan wants you to funk with him.
Said you'd be ready.
Woo! 'Cause I'm a soldier in the army. Awesome stuff. A little lower on the tier of Funkadelic, but let me tell you, that bar is super high, so it don't even matter. Their weaker records are still better than Yo Mama's. One of my favorites, although I love them all, unconditional, is Electric Spankings of Your Babies. I mean, just the artwork alone is music to the eyes. Imagine the music in your ears and the music in your eyes all at the same time. Oh my God. Amazing. And still they say they're no
Dick in Detroit. Oh.
Love it. Electric Spanking and War Babies. Baby! Following that, we're almost at the end of Funkadelic. Unfortunately. But thank God they made all these great albums. This is called Toys. And this is kind of B-sides, unreleased. It's mostly just jams. And it's just, they're so good. I love this record. I listen to it all the time. All the time. Super awesome. And to end our Funkadelic is how they have ended their recording career, which was actually quite recently. And it's a 3 CD set called First You Gotta Shake the Gate. And it looks like a funkadelic record. It doesn't really sound like a funkadelic record. And it kind of just lives on my shelf looking pretty like a funkadelic record. Like I said, at least this one is music to the eyes, if I don't quite like the music to my ears. Bam! That is F. What you got on your shelf? What the F do you represent, huh? Rock and roll. I appreciate you checking it out, and love to know what I'm missing from my collection, and share what's on your collection. But either way, however you do it, get it done. Put it to your eardrum. Peace.
If I believed everything I saw on television,
Think like Brady Bunch, eat when used for lunch. Drive a Datsun Subaru and never push it much. Get a 9 to 5, never have a lot. But at 20, have 2 kids, then divorce my wife. Then I'll be a cop, and I won't be stopped. Roger a robot just chewing off your ear.
Can't handle all this noise, noise, noise. I can't handle noise, noise, noise. I can't handle noise, noise, noise. I can't handle.
Little girl to the mother with a child, to the wise woman on the hill. We all are changing one mind. Sisters, be patient with yourself and respect your own sacred pace.
What it is, fucking low down feeling in the hips from left to right. What it is a might be to it. This funky dance all night.
I sail past the Milky Way just to hold you in my arms.
Con tal de que tú sigas junto a mí, todo lo aguanto. Yo sé que por tu amor hay que sufrir, pero no tanto. Si ya te fui quitando tantas piedras del camino y te fui convidando de mi pan y de mi vino.
But I'm on drugs, a psycho.